Monsters of the Midway, we back in the game. Bands rising up, hit a roar, feel the flames. Yo. Monsters of the Midway, we back in the game. Johnson leading bed, packing formation, taking over the noise, feel the domination. Lost to the Packers, but now we ain't done. We rise from the ashes like the blazing sun. Cold winds blowing, we ain't scared, we thrive. Caleb's launching bombs, watch those rockets fly. 300 yards deep, in that they get degrees. Ain't nothing but a challenge, we do it with ease. Monsters of the Midway, ready to attack. Hands on the hunt, ain't no turning back. We whip the Browns, take them down like a pro. Next week on the Rivals, we steal the show. Monsters of the Midway, we steal the show. Monsters of the Midway. I got my cheese grater reppin' on my gear. Watch me scream, blow, back, blow, let them hear. At the throne we stand tall, trust in the grind. Bears take revenge, leave those Packers behind. Packers think they tough, but they can't handle the heat. We storm like a thunder, they can't take the defeat. All my boys in blue, warriors all around. When the game starts, feel the rage hit the ground. Monsters of the Midway, ready to attack. Bears on the hunt, ain't no turning back. We with the Browns, take them down like a pro. Next week on the Rivals, we steal the show. Battling hard, feel the fire ignite. Ben brings the strength, Caleb wins uptight. We dominate this field, raise a bear light. Mike the Bear fan got the final word. We coming back stronger, can't be deterred. Monsters of the Midway, you know we don't play. Get ready for battle, it's our game day. Monsters, we back. Yeah, Monsters of the Midway. Monsters, we back. Yeah, Monsters of the Midway. Monsters of the Midway, ready to attack. On the hunt, ain't no turning back. We with the Browns, take them down like a pro. Next week on the Rivals, we steal the show. Good, better, bad. Good, better, bad. Never let it rest. Never let it rest. Good gets better. Anybody gets better. Anybody gets better. Bears on three.
Good morning. Welcome to the home of the Kings of the North. It's Halas Hall Report. The video was so good, Mike fell off. He'll probably be back. Good morning, Woody.
Oh, good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon. Oh, yeah.
I guess it would be afternoon for you East Coasters. Yep. So, I go to a hockey game and the Packers get blown out by Baltimore. And all of a sudden, we're Kings of the North by default.
Yeah, NFC champs. So now we're definitely going to play a home game, at least one. So right now, it would probably be the Packers at home round one if it would end today.
Yeah, that's been the way it's been looking for the last couple of weeks, that whoever won the division was going to get the there we go. Good morning, Cam. Good morning, Barry.
Cam.
Whoever won the division was get the, right now it's the 2 seed. Now we can still get the 1 seed. If Carolina beats the Seahawks today and we win out, that's it. Really, if the Seahawks lose if we win out, the Seahawks lose any of the next 2 games, we end up with the number 1 seed. For me, the funny thing is, we can talk about, do I want the number 1 seed? Do I not want the number 1 seed? But look, at the beginning of the year, when I said, hey, we're going to be between 7 and 10, and you're like, yeah, we'll be between 6 and 9, 6 and 10. And, dark horse for the playoff team. All the Packer fans, especially the Packer fans, oh, you guys are delusional. Your Bears suck. You'll win 5 games. Now they're on this morning talking about, oh, well, if we play the Bears in the playoffs, it'll be a cakewalk for us. The Bears suck. Everyone's just coming out of the woodwork. Now it's like, dude, we've been here all year. And we said that they would win, about 9 to 10 games and be a dark horse for the playoffs. And you called this stupid. You called this delusional. I'm sorry, who's Kings of the North? Who's the division champ this year?
Well, we had an easier schedule, and plus all the injuries and stuff. I mean, listen, Packers fan. It goes back to 2 weeks ago when we beat you in overtime. Okay, hey, we had to come back six fourth quarter comebacks this year, the most. Just say good game. I mean, this is like a friendly division rival. You know, we can all be friends and stuff like that. But you guys come up with the most fucking excuses I ever seen. I heard Packer fans last night still blaming us for yesterday's loss because of Jordan Love and Malik Willis's shoulder and stuff like that. Injuries are part of the game. We didn't have our linebacker crew together for the last 10 weeks. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Our fourth string linebacker was the NFC Defensive Player of the Week, crying out loud. And I'll give Barry credit. Barry did come in, Woody, and say good game to us the other day.
Thank you,
give guys like Barry credit.
Yeah. I mean, it's just say good game. I mean, and it's, oh my God, I'm on TikTok yesterday going through videos and stuff like that. Packers fans complaining about us. You know, we're kings of the North, blah, 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 injuries, this and that. Okay, my two questions. I know, Barry, I respect you by coming on and saying good game. I mean, is Romeo Dobbs a backup that he dropped that onside kick? Is Jacobs a backup running back because he fumbled at the 4-yard line? And you don't know how Jordan Love would play the rest of the game. You never know. He could have thrown 3 interceptions that game. Right now, Malik is playing better than Jordan Love is.
No, and Malik's a good backup quarterback. You know, last year when he started a couple games after week 1, there were a lot of Packer fans like, oh, maybe this guy could be a starter, should be the starter. And it was funny because I heard Packer fans on the Red Zone rant this morning say, well, unless we face Derrick Henry, we're good. Do they not realize who the number 1 rushing team in the NFL is right now? It's not Baltimore. It's not Baltimore. I'm just going to put it that way. I mean, look, I gave Green Bay credit in the game against us.
What's up, Thatch? How you doing?
Hi, Thatch.
Thanks for coming in.
I gave them credit for how well their linebacking core and their defensive line played against the Bears the week before, right? The first game without Micah, they stepped up. They played a heck of a great game. They didn't really contain the running game, but you know, they kind of kept the Bears a little bit in check. They did a really, really good job. But last night the tires fell off. You look at the score. You know,
Jags fans.
Hey, we're okay with Jags fans. I lived in Jacksonville for a while. We know all about Duval,
and we beat him overseas. Malik. I mean, he's probably like a couple years ago. He's like the Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is one of the best backups in the league and stuff like that. His throws, his composure when he gets out of the pocket and runs. He had 2 nice rollout running touchdowns last night. Malik is a great. That's the bad thing about having a great backup because another team in the NFL is going to sign him to start.
And there are like maybe 5 or 6 backups teams in this league that have backups like that: Chicago, Baltimore, Green Bay, San Francisco. Right now, the Cardinals with their backup. I mean, they all have really good backups. If their backups come in, yeah, obviously they're not as good as their starters, but you're not missing as much. Like, you know, there's a drop off, but it's not like you just fell off a cliff drop off. It's not like going from Patrick Mahomes to whoever the guy they have to play this week.
Bear down, Sean.
Good morning, Sean. Who actually at times looked like Patrick Mahomes, even though they had next to no offense in the first half.
I mean, Huntley hardly had to do anything yesterday. I mean, the way Derrick Henry and that stiff arm too. I'm like, oh my God, these guys were playing. Baltimore had more to play for, believe it or not. They had the win yesterday to stay in it, and they proved it. And
they wanted more.
I know Packers fans say, "Well, the Ravens beat the Bears too," but it was in Baltimore. It wasn't at home. It might have been a different outcome, but you never know.
I mean, very I can respect everything you're saying this morning.
Yep.
I think that Malik gives the Packers a different look than Jordan does because he is a different type of runner, and we weren't ready for that when we knocked Jordan Love out of that game. We just weren't ready for it.
Well, can I just bring up one thing too?
Yeah.
Now, would you call that a dirty hit yesterday on that 15-yard foul? You're at the hockey game. The 15-yard penalty on Green Bay, but on TikTok, all these Packers fans saying it wasn't a dirty hit, but you're going to call last week's hit dirty as well.
Well, so I saw where Bill, the Packer fan, posted on Facebook about, Booker getting fined for his 2 dirty hits. So I real quick Googled it. I didn't see the fine list. And, it's funny. The AI summed it up for me on Google. It said, yeah, he's paid $11,000 in fines combined for both hits. And it said, even though in the second hit, Jordan Love lowered his head.
Mhm.
Even the AI knows Jordan Love lowered his head to draw the penalty flag. And it's like, and we were talking about that on the morning show, where I'm kind of fed up with it. And it's not because Jordan Love did it. He was just, fresh in our mind because we just watched that game. But across the league, you see it all the time now. Anytime the quarterback thinks he's going to get hit, head goes down so he can get that 15-yard penalty so it negates the sack. I'm like, the NFL needs to look at the spirit of the rule and enforce it likewise, right? I mean,
I agree.
it's one of those, and same thing with like when they give themselves up, they need to be better enforcement because sometimes you get your guy is getting plastered as he goes to the slide. Other times, well, he wasn't completely on the ground yet, so it was okay. Well, wait a minute. I mean,
it depends on the quarterback, on who it is, depending on
know.
how ticky-tack that penalty is.
Yeah, I know.
It really is.
It is. I believe you. I heard it all last night. I was going to
but yeah, that penalty, he did have 2 hits, and I thought it was 10,000, not 11,000.
No, it was 11.
It was 2 hits, and I didn't know about the first one either. I had to go back and look.
The first one was because the first one was
the weight
controversial because
bearing.
they said, the official said the full weight, but the thing is when he came down, his left arm was fully extended, trying to keep his body up, and he rolled to the right to kind of get off him. So once again, even on that, it's like, look, it's a contact sport. If the quarterback gets his full weight, like, do you protect the receiver when he gets the full weight of a linebacker or a corner on him? I mean, okay, granted,
some
those guys
people
are
are
a little
saying
bit
the
lighter.
defender has to adjust,
How can you adjust in the air?
Like it's very impossible for the most part to adjust when you're going to tackle the guy because you don't know if he's going to lower his helmet to the right or left. And like you said, it's a contact sport. They need to adjust the penalty call.
Yeah. So I think those are 2 things. But the one thing for certain, like the body weight thing is a little bit more subjective. But I'm sorry, the lowering of the helmet to get 15 yards, I don't know how you stop it in game. The refs can throw the flag. It's not like you can challenge it, replay it. But you know what? The NFL needs to start finding quarterbacks for it. They need to start finding quarterbacks for it. I don't care if it's Caleb or Jordan.
Not really
or
they don't need to fine them. They just need to take the penalty away. It's a contact sport.
Well, they're not going to though. How they're not going to. New York's not going to do an instant replay on it and say, hey, by the way, that was a bad flag. Pick it up. The flag's thrown, the ref makes a call, you can't challenge it, it's not a reviewable play. I mean, should they make that reviewable for New York? I think so. Maybe not for a coach's challenge, but at least for a snap challenge, or a snap replay like they do for touchdowns and that, because so many of these quarterbacks are lowering their head to get the fine, and then you get like Green Bay Packer fans, oh, it was a dirty hit on Jordan Love for that knocked him out. No, it wasn't. Jordan Love lowered his fucking head to make contact with his helmet so he could draw a 15-yard penalty, and he, like you, lost.
I don't think it was to draw the 15 yards. It was more to protect himself on the hit.
And a new thing is that he was pushed in the back to make his head go lower. Come on, dude. Come the fuck on.
He wasn't
the fuck
pushed
out of here.
I mean, I don't know. Why would you lower your head to protect your body? That makes no sense.
I'd rather hurt my body than my head, right? Or does anybody disagree with me?
He was trying to get.
It's just a reaction. You're not just going to stand straight up and take a blow. You're going to try to.
You're not going to lower your head into it, though.
If you play football, you're going to lower your shoulder to take the hit.
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
shoulder, but not your head. But either
when your
way,
shoulder goes down, your head goes down. Just saying.
The second the quarterback lowers his shoulder/head. Let me clarify this then.
Unless you have a long neck.
He lowers his shoulder/head, like Jordan Love did in that play. The flag should be negated. Yeah, there should be no flag. Yeah, if the guy stands upright and you do helmet to helmet, you were out, and that's a different story, right? But the second they lower the shoulder pads, they're just like a running back to me. Then
you can lower your shoulder pad, but you're taught to keep your head up, not keep the helmet down.
Well, he put his helmet down.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
like he was looking at the ground.
Yeah.
Um,
But,
and
overall, I don't want to make this all about that Jordan Love hit, but the overall thing is you see a lot of quarterbacks in the league doing this because they know it's an easy 15-yard flag. So tactically, it makes I get it. You can take a 3 to 8 yard loss and turn into a 15-yard gain and a first down. I get it. Tactically, it makes sense. I mean, if the refs are going to let you get away with it, then do it. It makes sense. But you run the risk of getting hurt. And Jordan Love did.
And that hit yesterday was on a defenseless receiver because you actually have to have the ball turn around and establish yourself. Well, he didn't let the receiver establish himself, and he hit him straight on at the head.
No, I think the second they touch the ball or the ball's even in their direction, once it's like, because you see guys get plastered and don't even touch the ball because it goes over their hands and they still get plastered. The rule on that has to be it's something to do with the vicinity and if the ball goes right, if they hit them too early, it's pass interference, right? But if the ball is even with them, or he makes any kind of contact, I think they're fair game. So that's what I'm saying. There's so many less protections for wide receivers or for receivers in general than there are the quarterback. The quarterback's the most protected position on the field, but they got to start protecting these defenders some because look at all these ACLs that these guys are getting from trying to make these adjustments so they don't get penalized for tackling a quarterback improperly or what is now improper, right? Oh, you put too much body weight and they do all these shifting, and now we got torn ACLs and a lot of defensive ends are hurt. Look how many defensive ends had ACLs and MCL, and defenders get hurt. They got to start protecting the defenders some too. It's not just
well, to what Brent said, he said basement sucks. Hey, all you got to do is win next week, and everybody in NFC North is 500. So,
yeah, Vikings fans are like, I can't believe we could have a winning record if we win next week. It's like,
yeah, I know.
Really?
Well.
So I heard Dan Campbell blasted his team yesterday. Is this true?
Oh, I didn't hear that. I wouldn't doubt it. But Campbell's got to look at himself and say, hey, I got to stop calling plays. I mean, what the problem they had last week was when they went for it on fourth down twice, they had pre-snap penalties. And it ruined, and they had the punt. So that really pissed him off because he's used to going for 4th and 1, 4th and 2.
Yeah, what a season. What a freaking season.
Worst to first. That's amazing. It's not easy to do.
Carolina, worst to first. Yep. New England, worst to first. New England, we kind of maybe saw coming a little bit more. Carolina, we said, yeah, they're going to be better. And we knew we'd be better. We just know we'd be this much better. But that's the thing about this league and the parity. I mean, the stat line is like almost 70% of the games or at least up till this year. I have to see what the new numbers are one-score games. I mean, that's the thing about this league. They're almost all one-score games. You do get some blowouts, don't get me wrong, like last night. But overall, they're very close one-score games. So the difference between last place and first place is a play here, a play there, calling a timeout here versus bad clock management, Eberflush. I mean, it's a very small difference. A fumble, losing a snap, muffing a kick. One mistake is all it takes in this league.
Yep.
So the Bears have been pretty good at mitigating those mistakes, but they are still really bad at the penalty thing.
Yeah.
So let's
last in the league.
Yeah. What are we, first in the league in penalties?
First in the league in pre-snap penalties. I think we over 40 of them.
This team, man, we're number one in the league in takeaways, number one in the league rushing, number one in the league in penalties for pre-snap. I mean, come on, man. Really?
And I know the Bears, they need to, work on, sacking the quarterback, but I'd rather have a turnover than a sack. And these pressures, and they might not get to the quarterback, but it might hurry the quarterback to make a stupid throw, a hurried throw, a fumble. So I'd rather have a turnover than a sack, but we still need to get that pressure.
Yeah, I think that the interior, Grady Jarrett, has not worked out
He's
the way
coming on
I'd
last
hoped.
couple of weeks though.
He's been yeah. Well, the last couple of weeks he's got some pass deflections. He's played much better,
Yeah.
and Gervin Dexter seems to be having a down year from last year. Maybe maybe they're picking it up as we go on, and now they're gonna. But last year the interior was beastly, and that's what helped create a little bit off the edge. The edge guys are getting close. It's just the interior just isn't. And so I don't know. I mean, I think Booker's progressing nicely. Um, Believe it or not, what does Montez have? Like 8 sacks?
9.5.
Yeah,
Nine
he's
and a
getting up
half? I
there.
mean,
I'm
very
glad you
quietly. Go ahead,
go
Mike.
ahead. I'm glad you brought up the defense because I did a little investigating
Uh-oh.
on the edges and on the interior line. We are definitely crappy in the defensive tackle area. I say that because we have 17.5 sacks on the defensive end on our edges. Do you know how
Yep.
many sacks we have on the interior line?
Probably like 3 if that.
6.
Yeah.
And 5 of them come from Booker alone.
Yeah. I mean,
So our interior needs work for sure.
well, the interior, the only difference is we added Grady Jarrett, and he's a good wily vet. He's old. I think this might be his last year. Gervin was like a bright spot last year. This year he's just having a down year, and like I hope he can pick it up. But the interior to me that's where the problem has been. So if we're drafting D line, I would not be surprised to see the Bears in the first round take a defensive tackle if there's a one worth taking in the first round available. If not, maybe they have to wait till because they're gone early. They have to wait till the second or something to get because you don't want to overpay.
Right.
But I mean,
I said Booker had 5 sacks. My mistake. It's Gervin Dexter Sr. that has the
yeah. And how many
interior
sacks
5.
did he have last year? Feels like he's off from last year.
Dexter?
Yeah.
I could look real quick.
I don't see Andrew Billings being on this team too long. Either
No,
that,
but
he's
he's
going to
been-
lose about 300 pounds.
You said Billings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually
Billings-
our second best interior lineman for stat wise. And when
I'm gonna say like last year was Billings and Dexter were the starters. I don't know
Yep.
what. Grady maybe have to come off the bench, man, and Billings needs to be the starter. Work better than what this year's combo is, but I mean, right now, if you're winning games, you don't change it, right? You keep the chemistry, I guess.
Yeah.
But
he had 5 sacks last year.
okay,
Irvin.
so he's actually had an up year. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like today is the 50th anniversary of the Roger Staubach Hail Mary. By the way, just for those who are interested.
You really want to bring up a Hail Mary, Ken? Thanks for the memories,
I
bud.
remember I was at that game,
And Dexter's stats are only down in tackles. Everything else is average, about the same.
It just feels like he's not getting there.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vinny.
Thanks, Vinny. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, defense is definitely something we got to work with a little bit going into the playoffs. We can run the ball for sure. I mean, look, I agree with what they said in the game last week. The Bears are bend, but don't break. But we got to bend a little less than we've been bending.
Well, before we get into today's game, I just want to ask you a question because I've been hearing a lot, how rumors are always true on the internet. If there's a chance and we go far in the playoffs and we're just like a game short or 2 games short, whatever, do we go after Max Crosby next year?
Yeah, I saw that stuff about Max being shut down and being disgruntled and blah, blah, blah. I didn't click it. I just saw the headline because I'm not going to click into the clickbait. If he's available, I think it depends on what it costs. I mean,
2 first-round picks, definitely.
I think though the Raiders are hurting their value, their trade position with the way things are shutting them down, and some other things that they're going to take a little less. This team's like, well, you don't want them now, so we're not going to pay the premium we would have. We don't have to pry him from your greedy little hands anymore. Right now, you're trying to get rid of him. But I mean, is he worth 2 first rounders? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he just re-signed at the beginning of this year. His contract is crucial. Not saying, contract he can't get out of it. But if we get Crosby, I feel like we're going to have a top player. For instance, like DJ Moore plus a first round.
No, they can do just draft capital, and they can do things with the contract where it lessens the burden on the Bears in terms of cap. There's all kinds of, they can do strange conversions. The Raiders can eat part of it. There's a lot of different things that can happen. They're not going to have to give up a player now. If you're the Raiders, would you want, let's say, maybe like a wide receiver or something like that? Yeah, you would, because you need one.
Right.
But I think normally these trades are just draft capital. I mean, the weird thing with the NFL is weird about that.
I would fucking want Max Crosby. I don't give a shit. I don't fucking give a shit. There's Nick. Thanks, bud, for last night's win. He's a big Ravens fan. Appreciate it. But
I mean, he honestly makes us a lot. He makes you better. It's kind of like adding Micah Parsons. He makes you better. Got him and Montez Sweat with Booker in the rotation. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think though part of that, Mike, though, depends on what's going to happen with Dio. Like if you can put Dio on the pup and now you're absolved of his $20 million cap hit, and you can avoid having him on the roster at all next year and taking cap hit for it. I think there are things you can do in a trade for Crosby that if we're giving up 2 firsts and a 5th or something, whatever, I think Bears fans would jump for joy at that. But yeah, you're right. You got to make the money work.
yeah.
But you know how it is. And Mike, you complain about this all the time. How a dollar spent's not a dollar on the cap. And when they make a trade, they can fudge around with it even more than they normally do.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. By the time we go to Indiana, Max Crosby might be retired.
Oh, here we go. Now you're on the bucket list for going to Indiana. It's just a politics game to be like, Illinois, get your shit together. Help me out.
It's more like Cook County, get your shit together. Because they also, Packer fans forget that part of that message said Lake County. And Lake County is willing to play. And there's land at Lake County. And Lake County, from Arlington Heights to where Lake County is only about 15 miles. Not even 10 miles. Arlington Heights to Lake Cook Road's not that far. So, and you could build out by Naval Station Great Lakes. There's tons of land out there. They could put a stadium.
Lake County isn't nowhere near Arlington Heights.
Lake County is right next to Cook County.
Lake County's out there by the Army base, ain't it? The Air Force base or something?
No, I lived there. I lived there my whole youth for 18 plus years.
Shit, I have no idea.
In the Army. There's actually a road called Lake Cook Road in Buffalo Grove. That's on the north side of the road is Lake County. The south side of the road is Cook County. So, and Arlington Heights is but a few minutes away. It's a little further out from O'Hare and that kind of stuff than where you are now. But put it this way, Halas Hall is in Lake County.
Right. Well, I said this. Not to switch the subject. I said this yesterday on open mic. I believe Caleb Williams comes up short for the 4,000 yards, but I believe he'll break the single season record for a Bear. All he needs is 238 yards to beat
Eric
Kramer.
Kramer.
He's got 2 games to do it in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why fans make such an emphasis on this, because Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl. I don't even think he threw for 4,000 yards his last Super Bowl year that he won. I mean, that's nice, fine, and dandy, but honestly, this is one of those things where I could care less. But I know, like, fans of other fan bases, like, say, "Oh, you live a 4,000-yard passer." Okay, I don't care. Lions fans, "Oh, Eric Kramer, former Lions, the top," and you have no Super Bowl trophies in the cabinet, and we do. You know what I mean? It's like it's a kind of a fun stat, but at the end of the day, does it really matter?
To have records?
to have a 4,000-yard passer. I mean, who cares if you're winning games? Like
Because
if he
you
had
know
3,400 yards this year, but we win 13 games, which is obviously a lot better than last year. I'd rather have the 13 wins than the 4,000 yards passing. You know what I mean?
and then if Caleb Williams does get the 4,000, everybody says, well, it's 2 more games, blah blah blah. Then back then in the 80s and 90s, and I'm like, dude, so you can never win. So
There's always gonna be an
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
As long as you're winning and producing wins, that's all I care about.
Yep. And I do, and there's some things that don't show in the stat line but need to, like I know his completion percentage. They like to harp on that, but watch Caleb when he plays. Over 50% of his incomplete passes are throwaways. I'd rather have that than the completion. Well, I'd rather have a completion. Let me change that. I'd rather have that than him taking negative plays. He's being smart enough to just, okay, there's nothing there. Get rid of it. Live the fight another day. It hurts his, that's why you haven't heard Ben Johnson. After week 1, week 2, they were asking, well, what about the completion? Yeah, we'd like to get it up. We'd like to get it up. Now they don't even ask, because if they asked Ben Johnson, he'd be like, yeah, our goal was X, but he's throwing the ball away.
There should be 2 different stats, like you said, before the throwaway, after the throwaway. Because how many throwaways that he has is at least 20 throwaways this year, by far, easily 20 throwaways.
He might lead the league in throwaways at this point.
Possibly.
Steve, I don't know about that, man.
No way. There's just no way.
Now look at though, if the Bears win the Super Bowl this year and they go on a run and we go on a Kansas City-like run, sure, you'll be able to say that at some point. But I don't think you could say that.
Mahomes is a very, very special player.
Caleb's special, but he hasn't gotten to that level of special yet.
No.
Yeah. That's going a little too far.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at like Drake May, Caleb, a couple other guys out there, all could hit that kind of error at some point.
And because they're
that next generation of quarterbacks. So a couple of them are yeah. He's like
because Caleb,
he's not saying it.
But Caleb Williams, they're he has very similar stats to Trubinsky his playoff year. Very comparable. I will not even put up against Mahomes. No way.
Well, that's what I love about these stats, because then you have the one where Caleb is the number 1 in NFL history through a certain amount of attempts and
1,000 attempts,
least amount of interceptions or something like that. And you get all these, there's always these little stats you can bring up that make them really good, really bad, or whatever. It's just, oh yeah, I like this one. That's because you can't catch them to tackle them. When they do tackle and they've got 4 guys, they covered all the cardinal directions. So, I mean, you can't catch them. I mean, you guys remember Micah trying to chase them all over the field. You can't catch.
Yep.
Caleb is probably the best quarterback at escaping right now. He's probably the most escapable quarterback. But
yeah, he learned a lot from last year.
Yeah. Yeah,
What's up, Joe?
What's up, Joe? So, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't compare him to Mahomes yet.
Oh,
He's got to do a lot more for that. But this young crop of quarterbacks, with Bo Nix and Drake May and Caleb and some of these other younger guys, and I don't know if you can, Justin Herbert's kind of in that the guys that came in that middle ground.
Joe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some Bear fans come out the woodwork.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's one of them.
So, Ken, we have a game tonight at 8:30 against San Francisco. Does anybody have the final injury report yet?
I can grab it right now. It's not going to be final till 2 hours before. That's the thing. Well, okay. Let me pull it up. But
does Darnell Wright fly out there even though he has the flu?
That's a good question. I don't know if he flew or not. If he did, I hope he flew a different. So they're saying Nick McLeod is out. Odunze is still out. They're keeping him out. Blackwell didn't practice Thursday, Friday. Must be the flu as well. He's questionable. Nashawn Wright didn't practice Friday. He also hamstring /illness, questionable. TJ Edwards, limited practice Friday, questionable. CJ Gardner Johnson, limited practice. Oh, he had full practice Friday, questionable. DJ Moore, illness, questionable. What, the flu bug
Jeez.
hit? Darnell Wright, Zach is also sick, questionable. Luke Newman with his foot, he had full practice. He'll probably go. He's
Yeah, they called
questionable. And
called
then
him up.
you've got, my God, this injury report was huge. You had a bunch of guys with full practices, but a lot of guys with illness. So that flu bug must be hit
I
hard.
think we have 6 is what they said. We got 6 people with illness, and Darnell Wright was one of them. I just looked. I'm not 100%, but I don't think he went to San Fran. I think he's still at home. So Benedict is probably going to be the starter today.
Or Ozzy.
Well, lucky for them, the San Francisco is terrible getting sacked. So
Is Kittle playing for San Francisco? That's the question.
It's
Kittle-
70-30. I heard this morning because I have him on my fantasy. More than likely, he is out. But they
Yeah,
haven't said yet.
Kittle didn't practice all week. So, yeah, he's questionable.
He's got a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, so I think they're going to hold him out, but I could be wrong because they're playing for a division. They got something to play for.
They got something to play for. They do and they don't, though, because if they lose, they're still. That's the thing. Everyone's in, right? Everyone's in. It's just more of a matter of, if I can get to the division, get at least one home game or not.
Yeah, and his status they're saying is up in the air for Wright. That's all I got. Like if we played at noon, they would probably already have status out. But since it's
they would. They would. Yeah, 2 hours prior is when it usually comes out. So like San Francisco, man, to me, that team is held together by duct tape and bubble gum.
They're a very quiet 11-4.
yes, the Salah's got them playing pretty good defense with all the injuries they have.
Without Bosa, they're pretty impressive.
Bosa,
And then
Warner.
Yeah, could be coming back for the divisional if they get there.
Yeah, that's like why Rome is out. We're holding Rome out for the playoffs. I mean, let's be honest. If we had to fight to get in, Rome would be playing right now. They said as much before the Packers game for protecting Rome from Rome. So Rome's like, I can go. And the Bears like, no, you're not going to go yet. And you're going to see some of that this week and next week. Some protection of players, guys who are a little nicked up. Maybe they want to get them healthy. That time of year. I can't believe we're already at this point in the season, man. It's like the season goes so quick. Tonight's game, I think tonight's all about the running backs. CMC and Swift and Monanga.
Yeah, I mean, we got the main thing is that Kittle out, whatever like that. They got Jennings, good wide receiver. You got to stop Christian McCaffrey with our rush defense. If we don't stop him, it's going to be like the Packer game last night with Derrick Henry. I know they're totally different style runners and stuff like that, but if we don't stop McCaffrey, we are in big fucking trouble tonight.
On the ground and the air too.
Yep.
Yeah, we got some work to do. We got some work to do tonight. Look, we can still take the number 1 seed. I mean, so that's look. Here's what, like I said earlier in the show. Here's what has to happen. Today we're Panther fans because if the Panthers win, it makes the NFC South even more interesting. But it makes it less interesting. If they win and the Bears win out, we're the number 1 seed. Now, how's that one for crazy? All we have to have happen is the Seahawks have to lose either this week or next week, and the Bears win out, and we're the number 1 seed.
Here's the question, though: what kind of Panthers team are we going to get? A team that gets their ass kicked by the Saints?
Or the thing is that they're playing Seattle, and Seattle's better on the road. They won most of their games on the road this year.
Yeah, but Carolina's been good at home.
Yeah, well, something's got to give tonight or today.
Carolina has been better at home than on the road than most teams, but the Sea
you can get Darnold. You can intercept Darnold. He can be taken.
And then next week for the Seahawks is a divisional game. and it's a big
I
divisional.
I think differently than everybody else. I do not want that number 1 seed.
So the number one, here's the difference with the number 1 seed as far as the divisional round. Historically speaking, and I researched this out. Well, I grokked it. 70% of teams who have the first round bye win their divisional game. 70%. Statistically speaking, you want the bye because you have your odds are better winning the divisional round. Also, you can get healthy. Now, conversely, I understand and think there's a lot of merit to the argument. This is but you kill your momentum. And I think there's merit to that argument. So it's one of those arguments you'll never get it probably amongst fans. There'll always be that you'll never convince one of the other. Like it's like you want the buy or you don't want the buy, and there's no convincing anyone, right? Like Barry's like, look, if it was the Packers, he wouldn't want the buy. He'd want to play, right? And then you got some fans who are like, no, get the buy, get me healthy. And then you got a third group of fans who are situational. Well, if we're really banged up, like if you're the Packers right now, you'd be happy to have a first round bye and maybe get some guys back off injury, right? See, here we go. Joe, he's a get healthy guy. Take the week off. So for the Bears this year, having where our bye was in week 5, having a break might be a bad thing actually, because they're in a rhythm right now. Now, if you keep the work rhythm the same, which you can't completely do because you won't have a game that weekend. I don't know. It's interesting.
I know you guys make fun of me, but I love the number 7 seed, and Notre Dame is not playing a bowl game. Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm just different. I'm a different breed. I think differently about that because like the years passed, and I'm going to bring history up. It's usually the hottest team going into the playoffs, and if you take that one week off, that could fuck up your momentum. I just don't want it. I mean, it might happen. And I'll be the first one to admit if I was wrong. If they do get the number 1 seed and they win, then I'll own up to it. But I just don't want it.
Yeah, I mean,
If you are a team riddled by injuries, you want that number 1 seed, right? San Fran would love to have that number 1 seed so they can get some of their guys back.
Yeah,
We have guys who are just sick, right?
well, we got some guys. No, I mean, Luther Burden had a little bit of an issue. Obviously, Rome has an issue. We could use it to get healthy. We do have a little bit of a health issue we could use it for, but this team isn't like, to your point, Mike, isn't where the 49ers or say Green Bay are. I mean, it might help us get some of our defensive players healthy or keep them healthy. You know what I'm saying, Mike? I mean,
Yeah.
That is facts. Jesus Christ. Say it again. What do you want me to say? Which part?
Depends what Packer fan hears that, depending on what they say.
Oh, you want me to say Notre Dame should be in the SEC? They won't win any games? Is that what you want me to say?
No, Williams got more NFC
division
titles than Love.
So just real quick on injuries for the Bears. Here are the injuries that we got, players and what injury they're battling where they're showing up in the injury report. Adunze with a foot. Nashawn Wright's got a hamstring and he's sick. CJ Edwards a glute. CJ Gardner-Johnson a knee. Luke Newman a foot. Luther Burden an ankle. Kevin Byard an ankle. Drew Dahlman an ankle and a hand. Travis Homer an ankle. Alman Agabag, however you say his name.
Almagmiga.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So you got guys. So we got some guys who are somewhat mixed up for a bye week.
Did you? I didn't hear everything you said. Did you say the illness to the players though?
No, I didn't. Well, no, we were just talking specifically about players who have injuries where a bye week could help them get healthy.
Well, I got you. Sorry.
Here's the thing, though. We have 2 more weeks. Let's get them healthy now. Let's get them healthy now and not wait till, see if we get number 1 seed. Just get him healthy now, please.
I mean, look at I look at it this way: you win, you just try to win every game, period, right? Because I mean,
Right.
that's how you keep your momentum going. Because the inverse is some of these guys who say they don't want the first round bye, but we need to rest players. Well, no, we still need to win games and stay hot because you don't want to rest players and come in off a loss. And no, you want to come in hot, right? So yeah, a glute. Yep, he has a glute injury, Barry. I don't know. I haven't seen a glute on an injury report. I don't think for the last couple of years that I've looked at.
Is he
But yeah.
gluten free?
Well,
What's going
a
on?
thing to look at before kickoff too. It's DJ Moore and the other receiver, the
Burden?
rookie, Zacchaeus or whatever his name is.
Zacchaeus,
Oh,
yeah.
he's
He's
not a
down
rookie.
with illness, so
Zacchaeus
it
isn't a
could
rookie,
be.
but yeah. We're talking about Zahadi Walker.
Oh, Walker.
Jadade Walker.
Should die.
Jade.
However you want to say it, Jahadi.
Oh, the E is silent.
Yeah, I agree with Joe. I don't. And look at you. You tell me week 18 that they're going to take it easy on the Lions. Oh no, he wants revenge. And this team wants revenge.
I can see him resting the starters, depending on how it goes tonight.
Yeah,
I
agree.
would play him a quarter and quarter and a half if you're going to rest anybody. I wouldn't rest him the whole game.
Want a W.
So-
I guarantee you to a man that team wants a W against the
A
Lions.
W, yes, but it's no reason to hurt a player when a game doesn't mean anything. Not saying it's not gonna next week, but if we're playing for nothing next week, why risk injury?
Yeah. You mean if we lose tonight and Seattle wins?
Yeah, my bad. You know what I mean.
I know what you meant. Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't want to do an injury when the game ain't gonna mean nothing. Like I'd hate to see Caleb Williams go down because
being analysts and not being guys on the field. The guys on the field, they don't care. They just want to play and they want to win. Period. And the coaching staff, they got that in the back of the mind, but when the competitive juices start going, that's I guess that we test and see how much restraint they have. Because I guarantee you that that entire organization wants to go in to week 18 and beat the snot piss out of the Lions. And they want to do it and stay healthy. And that's what they're going to say. We're going to stay healthy, but we're going to beat the snot piss out of them. I don't know if that
in a way, Johnson's already kind of proved it.
What now?
In a way, Johnson's already proved it. Yeah, we may have lost to him, but look at the records. Look at their offense, how stale it is.
Hey, look at teams that look at like when Philly played. You know, they didn't rest their people. You know, and these guys, Mahomes that wasn't rested week 18. Well, Mahomes was rested last year. It's a bad argument. It's a mix. It's kind of like this argument. You know what this argument's like? Honestly, this argument's like, do you want the buy or don't you want the buy argument? This is one of those arguments because I hear it all the time. Half the fan base says rest them. The other half says no, play them. I think maybe there is a middle ground in there, and that's like maybe they play like the first quarter, first half, and then depending on how the game is going, especially if you got a good lead, you start filtering some of the starters out. You know, you can start doing that, sure, but you definitely want to get the win.
Well, look at Green Bay last year. They rest their starters against us that last game. They won next week and lost one and done.
Not all of them. They played and they started pulling slowly but surely because Watson played most of the game, and that's when he pulled his ACL.
I didn't say all the starters.
We should rest them because if somebody blows an ACL or anything like Caleb Williams or anybody, that's a factor on our team, that's damage for the playoff for the next week.
I think we think of it from the analytical side. Like Mike I don't disagree with anything you're saying analytically speaking. Analytically speaking, what both Mikes are saying, I think we all kind of like, well, analytically speaking, yeah, it makes sense. You don't risk these guys getting an injury that's going to preclude them from being in the playoffs. But then you flip the coin over to the competitive side of the house, and it's like, no, play them and kill them and play. I mean, that's always going to be the argument, and like they're both right. I mean, I guess this could be a situation where both arguments can be right. Because you kind of want to keep your momentum. You want to keep these guys in rhythm. You want to keep them going. So you need to play them to do so. But you want to protect them from injury. So, for the playoffs, which is more important in this week 18 nothing game.
Right.
Right. So you want to pull them. I mean, I agree with both arguments for different reasons altogether.
All right. I guess we'll head into predictions, huh?
Yeah, so go to Mike the Bear fan or Chicago Bears News, and there you go. There's the if you get the score 100% right, meaning you're not off by a single digit,
Oh boy.
you will win a signed what, Mike?
Tyreek Stevenson 11x14 picture.
3 fucking times this year I was 1 point off. God damn it. I don't know.
So what's the line for this game, anyways? Are we underdogs again?
Niners by 3.
3.
Giving us 3. So
I
Oh,
thought
Vegas,
it'd be more than that.
Vegas,
San Fran.
yeah.
Is
Vegas
there
said it's going to be a close game.
I think we've been an underdog in almost every game. Even the last Packers game, we were an underdog till the day before.
All but one, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Which one was it? The Cleveland game?
Yeah, the Cleveland game we were
That was the only game we were favored.
7.5 favorites.
Yeah, 7.5 favorites. Yeah.
All right, predictions.
All right, well, we'll start with Bear Down Mike. What's your prediction for tonight?
So is Kittle ruled out?
50-50. They don't know yet. Most likely, yes.
All right, I'm going to keep the same score. If Kittle's out, I'm going to say 34-27 Bears.
Okay.
Woody?
Well, I said if we beat Green Bay the second time at home, I'd on the Bears side the rest of the year. So I'm going to say 27-24 Chicago.
Nice.
Mine's
pretty similar. I feel 30-20 Bears.
Cam's got 27-23 Bears. Rick has a 38-23 Bears. Hey, it's an offensive explosion. Bears 28-14.
I think that's the first Packer fan I think that picked the Bears to win.
Barry's picked them before.
No, I'm saying like all out there, what I've heard on podcasts, posts.
There you go. Now you got a good Packers fan. 28-23 Niners. There's another Packers fan. Not that Barry's not a good Packers fan. He's a very good Packers fan.
Steve's this. I don't fucking son of a bitch.
Yeah, well, he knows the policy, so he knows that he's always wrong. That's what he told me the other night. He always says I'm wrong. Like, well, you know the policy. You're just wrong. Good at you, Steve.
Oh man, I love it.
I gotta think.
It's Woody's fault. Yeah, I bet. Blame it fucking on me, motherfucker. All right.
I'm gonna go 27-24 Chicago.
You can't pick my score, Ken.
Oh, you picked that one on me?
What's wrong with you?
He's being a dad.
All right, fine. I'll go 30-27 Chicago.
Mike just picked that score.
No, I said 30-20. I said 30-20.
I thought you were going to agree with me.
He said I thought you were going to.
I can't.
No, I think the key to victory is personally long drives, keep the offense on the field, get that run game going, so you keep the hands.
I think that
offense in the hands of the Niners.
Yeah, you know what, Mike? I think that's going to be the key for both teams is the run game like, with these long drives. I don't think today's a passing explosion, especially like with Rome out. If guys are not feeling well, it seems like the running backs are healthy, the offensive line's healthy. For you're going to see some nice pass plays for both teams probably, but probably a lot of run the ball. I mean, San Francisco saw what Green Bay did. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to try to do these long drives, and we're going to try to do long drives. Excuse me. Both defenses are in bend, don't break mode, right? Because they're kind of in the same boat we are defensively. I just hope that our defense gets a couple 3-and-outs today. I'd like to see a few 3-and-outs.
Yeah, I want to see the opposite. You said the defense 3-and-outs. I don't want to see a lot of 3-and-outs by Chicago either. And if we get in the red zone, let's score some touchdowns. It could have screwed Baltimore last night with Green Bay. They had those, 2 field goals in the red zone, and instead of up by 14 or 17, they were down by 10 or 9. So we got to score in the red zone.
We've been better in the red zone. Because remember, Woody, you and I talked about how bad we were, and from that game forward, they've actually been really good in the red zone.
Right.
Mhm.
Yep.
And still, you can't forget about the most turnovers in the league. We definitely got to keep those turnover ratios going. We're at 19% of turnover ratio on offensive drives for our defense, which leads the league.
And I know turnovers are part of the game. It's great. I'd like to see the Bears win without winning the turnover ratio or not getting a turnover at all. That might prove something to this team as well.
Nah, it's never
You know,
gonna.
I mean, Woody, I kind of you know what though? I kind of agree with Woody on that in a way. I mean, I'll take it. I'm not saying don't get me turnovers, but I would if we win without turnovers. I think that would be something. That's something to say. But you know, I was gonna go a little bit opposite in a weird way of what Woody was because last week they kept saying this team is like the '06 team. Bend don't break, lots of takeaways. The only difference between this defense and the '06 defense, the '06 defense scored touchdowns. That we do not get a lot of defensive touchdowns. We've got a couple pick sixes, but we don't score at nearly as a prestigious rate as the '06 team. But yes, I can understand the comparison being made between this
Appreciate
defense and the '06 defense. But this defense doesn't put up a lot of defensive touchdowns.
Well, Joe, I'm not saying that. I would like to see us win without it. I'm not. I would love turnovers. That's we win games when we, get turnovers. I just want to see us win without it because there's a lot of people out there, Packers fans and stuff. Oh, you can't win without turning the ball over or getting turnovers. I understand that, but that's part of the game. I want to see us win without it. Just to see.
Look, Packer fans are going to say whatever they're going to say because most teams that are winning teams get lots of are positive on the turnovers like that. So they're just mad because they can't do what we do. I mean,
No.
but if you look at historically, most teams that get a lot of turnovers will win a lot of games. They're well, it's only because you're getting turnovers. Well, that's because the defense is doing what it's supposed to do because we have a good defense. It's their way of mitigating it to make us less. But to Woody's point, and this is where I get where Woody's saying, it's like, okay, let us beat them with the turnover battle being, at 0. Like maybe we each get 2, whatever. But the point is that we don't win the turnover battle, that we win the game that maybe even being negative in the turnover battle or just breaking even. Let us win a game that way. Then you can't say, well, the only reason you win games is because you get turnover. And that's what he's saying. Yeah, Green Bay always has excuses. They have excuses
Oh my God.
this morning. This morning they were on the Red Zone rant talking about if they played us in the first round, it's a cakewalk.
And again, like I said earlier, they're blaming their loss yesterday on the injuries from the week before on Love, and I'm like, dude, fuck, injuries are part of the game too, man.
Delusional and stupid for thinking the Bears would win more than 7 games this year, let alone be a dark horse for the playoffs.
Well, they did in the beginning of the year, though. Packers fans did say they were going to tie Dallas. They always said that. So,
yeah. And Steve, we know it might not be you or Barry per se, but we'll just say some other talking heads. Put it that way. Nonetheless, the early games are going to start here soon. I'm going to watch a little Seattle, Carolina. Indianapolis can get exited. Their playoff hopes can die today if Jacksonville wins. So maybe I'll watch a little Duval. Of course, Pittsburgh, Cleveland's huge. If Cleveland wins, that helps Baltimore, but then we're also watching the sack count. Does he break the record today?
I believe Indianapolis is already out. They were knocked out.
I think there's still a shred of hope. They have to win out, and they have to have help. But, yeah. They've got the slimmest of glimmers of hope.
Especially with shot put throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully his whole family fills up the press box again like last week. Yeah. His 10 kids and shit like that. That was funny.
Hey, I do have an update in my fantasy. It's saying Kittle's projected at 0, so I don't think he's playing.
No.
He may not play. Well, we'll find out as we get closer. It looks like no Kittle for them, which is a big blow to their running game as well, because he helps their running game a lot more than he does help their passing game, but he's sometimes the key to unlocking CMC. We're about out of time, though. We got about 20 seconds left. Guys, thank you for joining us way early. And we will see you guys Wednesday night for another edition of House Hall and Monday morning for Ken and Ken. Bear down.
Bear down.